All right, thanks for being here. And there is a slight change today. We started at 3 p.m. India time. Is it pretty early for India?
Really?
Post lunch, we are just relaxing and the session started, isn't it? All right, great. So, how is the days going on? Is anyone close to the exam here? How is the preparation going on? Reading books, covering some question papers. Is it happening?
Yes, Shri. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
normally during your classes, I didn't do much of reading
Okay.
because at that time I felt reading before the classes slightly overwhelming for me or too much. The
Ah,
content was too much dry for me back then. But
okay.
after I attended your classes, I had a fair idea of all the topics associated with PMP. So,
Oh.
so how I am focusing is my focus is based on three things. One is like project management, I mean the predictive management fundamentals,
Mm-hmm.
agile fundamentals, and
Okay.
the six constraints of project like the scope, schedule, uh,
Yeah.
cost, and yeah, you know that. So all these things. So I have split my preparation into these three things. So
Mm-hmm.
predictive, I almost the fundamentals I've almost completed. So
Okay.
I've completed scope, and I'm currently going through the schedule constraint part. And
Okay.
also in parallel, I'm looking into the agile practice guide as well, Steve. So
Nice. Nice.
daily close to 2 hours I'm spending on the study reading.
That's
And
nice, right?
yeah,
You should
sometimes,
be more confident now.
yeah, but sometimes I feel the 2 hours is also not sufficient. Yeah.
Ah,
And when I started my reading, I used to take notes, and
okay.
then the notes were no different from Rita book. I felt like I'm copying the Rita book. I'm writing those many notes. Then I find, oh, okay, this will not work, and I try to shorten my notes now. Only the
Okay.
key points I'm doing it, and I'm planning to take up my exam on October 6th, 2024. Shri.
Hmm. Hmm.
I saw the slots are available at my native. I'm from Tamil Nadu. So
Okay.
my
Which
native,
city
yeah,
in which city in TN?
sorry.
Which city?
In Tamil Nadu, Coimbatore.
Coimbatore. I think Coimbatore they have one exam center.
Yeah, they have one exam center, and that is an engineering college actually, Shri. So I'm planning to take up the exam in weekend so that less number of people would be there. But that
Ah,
shouldn't affect in any way. But
okay.
still, so to
After
avoid
a
some crowded
after a
situation.
long gap, you are going to engineering college.
Yes, yeah,
Hmm?
uh,
And the golden days starts coming back, huh, isn't it?
yeah. After maybe 11 years, I'm going back to engineering.
This
Yeah,
time when you enter, they'll think you're not a student.
yeah. So October 6th, I'm planning to take. So I feel it's enough time for preparing, and I took
Perfect.
I mean 140 questions and 260 questions,
Very
all
good.
around somewhere around 68%, 63, 68.
That's
So
a very decent score.
yeah,
How is with the time management?
yeah. Time I'm having sufficient time. I'm almost having close to 10 minutes left out even after attending the questions. So
That's a good progress in that case.
yeah,
So what I'm observing is you're reading 2 hours, but you feel not sufficient, and
yeah, yeah.
that is good that you are more interested to read. You didn't get tired after 2 hours of reading.
No, that's why what I do is I wake up early in the morning. So
Okay.
6:30 to 8 or 6 to 8 I used to study because
Okay.
after office work if I sit and study I think I might not be able to
You
focus that
doze off.
much. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a point.
Yeah.
And one point you mentioned, you're taking notes, and the
Mm.
notes look like a Rita
Yeah.
book,
Yeah.
right? I would say it's completely okay. Keep
Yeah.
doing it.
Okay.
The reason I'm saying is the more you write, you may get more connected.
Okay.
It may look like a repetition of work. It look like you are doing the same thing. But when you write, your thought process is getting more detailed.
Okay. Okay.
When you read, what will happen is, yeah, we read. Only when you write, I think your brain starts really functioning,
Okay. Okay.
isn't it? You have to think and write, and you cannot just copy.
Right.
You
Right. Definitely.
have to think and write. The
Okay.
thinking process happens more when we write. At least to my observation, the last few years, the more I write that particular week, my productivity was good.
Okay. Okay.
Less I think, okay, I know I'll put in Google Calendar, I'll put in electronic devices, all
Okay.
gadgets. it look nice when I'm doing it, but when I see productivity wise, it's pretty less.
Yeah, agreed. And also, what I do is when I go through chapters, each chapter
Mm-hmm.
is close to 20 to 30 pages, or
Mm-hmm.
even more than that. So
Mm-hmm.
before I start any chapter, this is a technique I used in my college days, but still,
Mm-hmm.
I find it okay. The thing is, I used to write down all the subheadings of the chapter,
Mm-hmm.
the beginning itself, so I can get a fair idea like what is being discussed in that chapter.
Okay. Okay.
And all the chapters are structured in a way that first they're explaining the fundamentals of the chapter,
Mm.
and next is how they are applied in predictive and how they are applied in adaptive. So
Yep.
that is the way every chapter is structured.
Mm.
So yeah, that's the similarity I observed across the chapters, and yeah, I used
Mm.
to write down the topics and then go each topic. So it's
Good to
slightly
know.
effective for me. Yeah.
Good to share that, Sham, because I believe it may help a couple of people who are listening to this video. So thanks for sharing that good, useful tip.
Thank you.
Nice to know, Sham. So keep up this momentum. October 6th looks a good date.
Yeah.
And keep me posted in the WhatsApp on your scores and the progress
Okay.
as we start getting more connected close to the exam.
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. That is on Sham. Nice to hear this. Did anyone found it's interesting hearing from Sham or is tips very useful for some of you here preparing for the exam?
Yes, it is.
It is, yeah. In fact, Sham, I think you formed a WhatsApp group in your batch.
Right. Right.
How active it is?
Yeah, not the level to I expected, but okay.
Okay, reply. Okay.
Yeah,
If you observe, yesterday or day before, I sent one message to ask, guys, where are you?
yeah, right, right.
You remember that message, right?
Yeah, I
So,
even responded to you, I think. Yeah.
so what I observe is over a period of time, people, okay, let's do. It goes to the back seat.
Yeah, what I did is when Shri, like you would remember during our classes, you would say like target on some 5 to 10 words from the glossary
Yes,
every day. It would
yes.
help. So I did it for the first 3 days, and
Hmm.
like I did not get a heads up or like an agreement from everyone.
Hmm.
So what I did is I used to like 3 times a week I used to post the words
Hmm.
like 5 words from Pimbox 7 and 5 words from Agile Practice Guide.
Very good.
So 10 words every day. So
Okay.
the every day was not working out. So 3 days per week I'm putting 10 days. So total 30 words per week. I'm going in that pace now. Shri.
Nice, nice. And you'll get some thumbs up also for that.
Yeah, yeah, I'm getting the thumbs up, but not even the
Not
thumbs ups are
response.
less actually.
Our
I'm
people
not
have so
blaming
much.
anybody. I'm just telling how it is. Yeah.
Good. At least it's useful for you. Maybe a couple of people who read that. I appreciate that effort, what you're doing, Sham.
Mhm.
Not only for Sham, for anyone listening here. If you open the PMBOK 7th edition, go to end of the book, you will see a segment called definitions. And there, each word is explained by 1 or 2 lines. If we are new to management or some of the terminologies, not really getting the grip of it, they're talking about risk appetite. They're telling that risk threshold. Even though you read it, it is not really gaining that hold. I would say go to that kind of definition, search for the word R, read what all given in the risk. If I want to prepare, I will take a white paper and put it today. I'm going to talk alphabet R. In R, I will catch up at least 5 words or 4 words. So something stays with me, and that will help me not only in the examination, even in my job. I can talk what is risk appetite, risk threshold. You will start looking unique in the group when you start utilizing the right terminology. So what you're doing is correct, Sham. Please keep up that momentum.
Sure, Sri. Yeah.
All right, then. Before I go to the question, I have a couple of questions to discuss today. Before I go there, is there anyone else who is getting that momentum of preparation? You're able to read 30, 40, 1 hour in a day. Anyone here? Oh, no one is getting the
Yeah,
momentum.
hi sir, this is Satam here.
Satam, you're getting a momentum.
Yeah,
Good.
actually, it is my second class means actually from July starting. I have started to have pre-learning course.
Mm,
And today I found that actually I have, as you have suggested, to read chapter second, then
mm.
third, 15 and 17. Then I'm close to now chapter 15.
Very
And
good.
today I have taken first mock test, and I have completed 15 questions in the beginning.
Mm, mm,
And within 15 minutes, I have completed, and I got around the percentage was like 53%, means 8 out of
mm,
15 were correct.
mm,
And also I have followed one tip that yesterday you have shared, that in the option you have to choose from reverse order, like D, then C, then B, then A. I
mhm.
actually found it is very useful. Means I'm not getting means from starting to last. When I read the options, then I get means little bit lazy. But when from reverse order, then actually I have got those answers correct.
Okay.
And the little problem was the time management, and the terms are very new. So obviously
Yeah,
I'll grab those terms and I'll follow up.
yeah. Okay. That's
Yeah.
nice to know, Satam. So, which batch you were started your classes?
Yeah, actually, yesterday was my second class.
Nice. Good to know.
Yeah,
In yesterday class, I was saying about reading a question paper,
yeah,
certain ways of reading. One of the idea was mentioning here is read the options from the bottom.
yeah. From the bottom, yes.
Saddam was pointing that idea. It looks pretty crazy, but when I read the answers from D and C, B, and A, I tend to read the answer properly. When I read from A, B, or C, somewhere in between, my brain says this could be the answer. Let's settle here. And with a half a mind, I read the rest of the two answers. Unfortunately, the right answer will be somewhere in D, and I would have been settled in B itself. This happened to me few times. That is the reason I started using this reverse logic. It worked. So, Satam, if it's working for you, I would say go and try it for a while.
Yes, actually, it's working. Yeah.
Perfectly. Great. Right. Is there any other feedback before you go for the question paper? All right. Then I have a question paper with me. Are you ready to solve a question?
Yes.
Let us do this. Okay, people watching from YouTube on LinkedIn, you can leave your answers in the comment section. We will take a look of it. And now, here is a question paper. Take a minute of time, read a question carefully before you choose the right answer. Answers start coming up. Let's give you seconds as everyone answers this. I'm seeing alphabet B is dominating. Okay. All right, then I got few answers here. The rest of you, maybe you're thinking to answer. Let's give a couple of seconds. All right, then let's start with the question. So B looks a dominant answer as per the team here. They say B is a good answer. Very good. Now, before you go to the answer, let us see the question. So what is the understanding in the question? A team lead receives an email from the product owner. So there is a character called team lead. There is another character called product owner, asking for a more precise view of actual team time spent on task to apply more accurate business value estimates in the product backlog. Something on the future this person want to do. For anticipating the future, want to know what is happening in the present and in the past. That's a ask. So there are two people involved. One is a team lead, okay, and one is a product owner. They don't want to mention as agile team. They just left it open. It's up to you. It could be even a hybrid company. It could be on agile also. The team is extremely busy. Now another character coming in. What is another character? The character is all about the team now here. So team is extremely busy and deadlines are tight. How should the team lead answer this request? Now, when we read this at 2.5 lines or 3 lines, it is talking something about the reports. Can I assume it's something talking on the reports? Is this question targeting on reports?
Yes,
Data?
yeah.
Or can I use the word data?
Yes.
All right. Before I go furthermore, let me ask the question with the people here. Who is being targeted in this question? Who? Who have to respond?
Team lead.
Team lead.
Okay, team lead has to respond. Is there any tense you can identify in this question? Past, present, future.
Maybe the past.
Yeah.
Past.
Yeah.
Okay. Is this
Because
question?
it says time spent on tasks. So maybe
time
past.
spent. Okay. On the past. So I'm hearing past. Okay. And what about the intensity of the question? I mean, the criticality. Will it be a showstopper in the project? High, low, medium? Where are we?
Medium.
Medium. High. Why it is high?
Deadlines are tight.
Okay, but this particular ask, will it stop this deadline deliverable?
No.
No, isn't it? No, that is not going to directly impact, right? Okay, so we understood who is being targeted, tense of the question, intensity we understood. What is the next one we have to observe? Last line. So last line is asking, what should the team lead answer this request? I think this is on the present tense, right? This request right now. Right now. Considering the past, you have to answer the present. That's an ask. Now, what is the fifth point you have to do? Elimination technique. Okay. Now, when I look at this question, I can see 3 characters. And I'm seeing that there is an ask and for which this person has to respond. Who is this person? The person is a team lead. We don't know what this person is. When I say team lead, could be who is having a domain knowledge, who can be helping on the process in the team. This person can help on the process. This person can even have a domain knowledge. We don't know. Or you can even call this person as a scrum master. There is no specification given. Just left as a team lead because a company could follow a hybrid model. Now, I got the answer as B. Okay, before going to B, how we eliminated a D? Anyone want to say why D is not a good answer?
It's more like rejecting the product owner's request.
Yeah. Oh, it doesn't look good, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't look good because you're going to say team is extremely busy. I can't. Can't doesn't look a good thing. Isn't it? We'll pull it out. So what happened to C in that case?
So this speaks more about the business value rather than what is required.
It talks about delivering business value. I don't think that's an ask in this question.
Right.
Question is not talking about that. Okay, it's irrelevant answer here. One is a negative word, can't. Other one is an irrelevant answer. It's gone. So competition gets easy enough. C and D gone away. So competition can be between A and B. Now we have to figure it out. Before you figure it out, let me ask this question. Any one of you can explain why you thought B is a good answer?
More detail in user story,
Priority
so
task.
that team can provide the exact estimation or more relevant estimation.
Okay. Okay. So what I'm hearing here is the team lead should inform the product owner. Team lead should inform the product owner, provide more information to the team. Is it the ask?
Yes.
Okay. With a specific and detailed user stories. User stories. If somebody don't know what is user story, it's a short description of the project work. So they can understand the customer value desired better. Now, how this is related to this question? Here the ask is on the time spent. How
Because
someone explaining will help the team.
Because the user stories are grouped into sprints, and sprints are time box events.
Very good.
So
Understandable.
So based on that, the time taken to complete that sprint would give the data which required by the product owner, Shri.
Okay, now let's park this answer. We'll read the question again. A team leader receives an email from the product owner asking for a more precise view of actual time spent. Who is asking this? From product owner. Product owner is asking, can you give me detailed how much time we have spent so that I can plan upcoming work items? If you show me past, I will plan the future. Can I assume like that? Is it a ask? In the first line, if you show me past properly, I can plan the future well. The team is extremely busy and deadlines are tight. That's a message. Right? That is usual, right? In a sprint, in a agile way or non-agile way, yeah, it is always planned like that. We have a critical path, non-critical path. I'm not talking only for a sprint and a software or agile. Any project, yeah, they're busy because there is a critical path. We have to deliver it. We have come to office to stay 40 hours active, not to say that 20 hours I'll work, 20 hours I'll browse something. No, which means we have timeline, deadline. We have to fix it. It's a usual story, but maybe extremely busy can make it. Yeah, you don't have a room to accommodate to generate a report. Now I'm trying to see this answer, how it's fitting in there. Ask the product owner. Now product owner is asking you, imagine yourself as a project manager, team lead, scrum master, agile manager. Let's call some names. The product owner name, I'll give an example, Julie. Julie is asking you, can you give me a clear detail of the time spent so that I can plan efficiently for the upcoming deliverables? Now, what we are doing here is we are again asking the product owner, okay, you give more details about the user stories. Which user stories? Current, past, or future? What we're asking here?
Future.
Current, past. What could be asked here? What we're asking, Julie?
Future stories.
Future stories. Very good. Future. Because current already work is happening. You cannot do that. Very good. Nice understanding. And we're asking Julie, hey, Julie, can you please explain and give the detail of the user story so that the team can understand the customer value? Now, Julie is looking at you. I'm asking on the time spent, and you're telling about the customer value. How this will match? And Julie is asking you, in Agile, user stories are not written by product owner. Who writes user stories?
Project team.
Whole team will write. Definitely team can question me. I am liable to answer because I am a knowledgeable person. In our class, we took an example, if you remember. The example is, I took a bank called American Express. American Express give the work to the company called Accenture, if you remember it. Now, Julie is a person from American Express. She is the product owner. She may work from American Express in New York City, or she could travel to India, sit in Bangalore, or sit in Europe, work with the team. And what is her responsibility? Her responsibility is to explain the work, and team will write the user story. Is this correct? Is this correct? User story. When this is explained like this, I think this is what we are asking here. Ask the product owner to supply the team with more specific and detailed user stories so they can understand the customer value. I feel this is a responsibility of the team to get the more detail of the user story, rather someone is come and spoon feeding them. Is it so? Is it question a little tricky? Tricky?
Yeah.
Bit tricky, right? Because the question is asking how a project lead can bring up the data. And what we are giving here is an advice. How data and advice will help. Okay, given a chance, if you want to re-look at the answer, now which one you look again? D, C, B, A. Which one you re-look again?
A.
Because we strike B, C, D doesn't mean you have to go to A.
Burned out.
Huh?
Burned
Come on,
out.
guys. Come
Yeah.
on, guys. No cheat game, okay? Okay. Anyway, since I respect your answer, okay, let's shift the gear. Let's shift the gear and move to A. Now you have to justify A. Why A looks a good answer?
So basically, Shri, the Agile team is basically they are knowledge workers and cross-platform team.
Uh-huh.
So as a part of their, project, they should be updating the burn down chart so that they can know how much work is completed against how much schedule is left behind.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is, as an agile team, it's a whole team responsibility to update the metrics, not metrics, about the day-to-day work, what they do. Even though you're extremely busy, that doesn't mean you will only do the job. You'll also keep updating what you are doing. I feel that's a role of agile team, right? That's what we agreed. If you remember, in agile, there is something called WOW, way of working. In agile, since rightly you said, knowledge workers, they are knowledge workers. When the knowledge workers work, we call them as cross-functional, and we also use another term. What is another term?
Self-organized.
Self-organized. So I don't want somebody to tell me do this. They will do automatically. They have to do. If you can't do that, then agility starts going down. How agility will happen? Only when the people realize themselves what to do. If someone has to always preach, advise, then agility starts going down. Okay. Since I heard A with a few of you after re-voting, let us see why A should be a good answer. Then we'll see the real correct answer. Okay. Let's go with the A also. Now the question is, what should the team lead answer this request? What should do? Now team lead should make sure the team is updating the burn down chart. Many of us may not know what is burn down chart. Some may know this. A quick hint or ask from the people, what is burn down chart if you are aware of it? What is burn down chart?
It gives the graph between time and the work done. Means it is a declining chart which gives that within how many days the task is being completed.
It can show what has been agreed to do, how much has been completed. Can we get a view of it? Possibly. Yeah. It can help, right? What has been agreed to do, how much. When we say what, a graph will be there, a graph will tell 80 points agreed to do, 80 work packages agreed to do, 80 user stories agreed to do, or 8 user stories agreed to do. Something you agreed. And from there, it starts declining. What does it mean? From 80, it becomes 70. From 70, it becomes 60. From 60, it becomes 50. Point is, it is Monday, it is Tuesday, it is Wednesday, it is Thursday. It means it's going down. Now, if I stop somewhere here, I will know how much completed, how much is pending. Now, in what way it is related to our question now? In what way will it help something on the time spent? Will it help?
Because throughout the time we might know how much user stories are completed, right? So based on that, we can estimate the precise time as owner as.
Okay. Now, question, as Sham is putting the point, the really good point he said, now how this will help Julie? Because Julie is questioning like this. She's asking, hey, can you give me precise? Precise means to the point. So I can estimate the product backlog. How it will help Julie? What does it mean? When I give the correct data, how she will utilize it? Is it something when you know what is your past performance, can you plan your future? Isn't it? When I say past, I am able to drive my car 80 miles per hour. 80 miles I am driving right now. The distance I have to go could be 300 miles. That's a backlog. This is backlog. 300 miles I have to go. Now, Julie can plan if 80 miles we are going, what should be the future? Maybe we can plan 75 miles or maybe 90 miles. If I go in this speed, I could reach the destination. Will it help her?
Yes.
Isn't it? I think this is simple logic, right? When we drive a car or a bike or go by public transport, we check how much time we are taking right now. Ooh, I had to mute some of you. All right, muted. So now this is going to help me to plan. And there comes the burn down chart. But now question is, why this should look a good answer? We are seeing that there is something called accurate view we are getting. This looks a good answer. But a team thought this is a good answer. When everyone answered B, I think most of you thought that a proper explanation of customer value should be given, isn't it? This tempted us. Now, B looks a good answer, but it is not something relevant to this question. The reason being is here, there is an ask from the product owner. Let's see the answer here. Okay, the answer goes to A. I think most of you then reversed your answer and you said A. But still, let's see why A is a good answer. The team needs to keep the product owner updated. Now, it is the team's responsibility. When I say team, the knowledge workers, bunch of people, it's their responsibility to keep things updated so that the burn down chart is a daily work measurement tool. How does a burn down chart look like? Have anyone seen a burn down chart in your job, in your reading? Have you seen the burn down chart? No? Yes?
X and Y axis, yes.
X and Y. Okay. Good, at least I heard a voice. Someone has seen it.
Yes, deviation from the ideal line means when it is a straight declining line, with time versus task completed, and the original our real means present situation shows deviation from the ideal line.
Okay. All right, good. That's a good point. I'll show some sample of how does a burn down chart look like. Okay. Before you go there, let's take a look of this point number 4. This is 12 principles of Agile. We have 4 values and 12 principles in Agile. Let's take a look of a 4th point. Can one of you realize or say to me, what is special in this 4th principle? What is special here?
The business people and developers must work together. So business people is basically the product owners.
So this comes from somebody. I mentioned an example of American Express, a representative or a business owner or a product owner of your company, somebody who knows what to be done. This person knows what to be done. And this person should or must work with someone who is doing the job in the ground. They know how to do it. They should collaborate regularly throughout the project. Now, why this is needed? Why this statement is needed? We could have followed the same format which we are doing last 30, 40 years, where customers give the requirement and then go home. They come back after maybe work is completed. Now, why this is needed? Why so?
To get continued review,
Uh-huh.
to get continue updates and review the work done.
Review. So there is an expectation for reviewing it. So that's a good point. That's a good point. Someone is reviewing it, what we did. Now, you can remember something we discussed in the previous classes. There is something called a Stacy graph.
Better delivery, Shri.
Yeah, better delivery, right? That's a good one. So if you remember Stacy graph, 2 points are given as Stacy graph. What they say? 2 points, x-axis and y-axis?
Requirement and the technical
Capability.
Uncertainty.
Well said. Well said. Technical uncertainty and requirement uncertainty. What is the connection between this and this, Shri? When you have these two uncertainties, I could not leave my customer away. A customer cannot sit away. You have to be part of the system to understand what is happening. When I say what is happening, what work is done and how it is done, it is discussed along with my product owner or a business owner. When he or she much aware of what is happening, chances are they can plan better for the upcoming work item. Because we are not planning a project as if a plan-driven project. In a plan-driven project, what we do? We make a linear approach. What is a linear approach? I know this is the first compartment, then second compartment, then third compartment, then fourth compartment. I'll create something called CPM. What does CPM stands for?
Critical path method.
Critical path method. I will tell after A, B should be done. After B, C should be done. And I'll put some network diagram. I'll do this and I'll discuss it, get the approval from the customer. But we didn't go in that order. We are going into agile model in this way. Now coming back here, burn down chart will give you a precise view. How a burn down chart look like? Let's take a look. Before you go here, are you all clear about the agile roles? When we see somebody called product owner, now you are seeing somebody called a scrum master, and this person also sometimes called as a project lead or agile manager. Some namings are giving here. Let's come to the point of the product owner. Now, product owner, will this person will be directly involving in the work with the team?
No.
Okay. What can be the role of a product owner? In our case, it's Julie. What is her responsibility in the team?
Prioritizing backlogs.
Well said. Well said. One is prioritizing what work to be done. How come she gets such a knowledge to prioritize the work? From where she's getting knowledge?
Because she's the VOC, voice of customer.
There you go. She is the VOC. What VOC stands for? Voice of the customer. Who is the customer? In our example, American Express. From American Express, you constantly get something called market study. I'm sure you all heard about it, right? Market study. They do market study, they do feedback cycle from the customer, and then they convert it into voice of the customer. And this voice of the customer can turn as a requirement, can turn as a bug, can turn as a pain, isn't it? That is how you get all the details. And Julie, either directly she gets it or through somebody business owner, she'll get it. But yeah, but whatever it is, for my team, which is sitting in a Bangalore, Mumbai, or any country or any city, for me, the face of contact is Julie. And Julie is the face of this company. So for me, I'll reach out Julie. Now, if Julie want to plan better what to be done in the future, she should know how the team is performing. I'll go back to the question. The question is asking, give me the precise detail of where are we, which means how the team is doing. If she really don't know how the team is doing, whatever voice you bring in, you cannot achieve it. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Is that right? You can bring the voice regularly. Perfect voice will bring in. You'll understand the real pain in the banking system. In American Express, credit card payment system not working properly. Customer has to go to 25 touch points to pay the money. It could be 3 touch points. Just click a button, put a OTP, you can pay the money. But now you're doing 25 points. I'm just giving an example. It's a pain point. I know that's a voice of the customer. Now I have to convert that as a requirement. I have to give that requirement to my team and they have to do the job. If I don't know what they are doing, whatever I prioritized, whatever level of knowledge I give them, the work will not be done. So I should know where they stand. Now let's go to something on the metrics also, what you learned some time back called information radiator. Have anyone heard the word information radiator? Information radiator? Have you?
Yeah, it shows information like the displays kept in the office and all that.
Very good. Very good. Very good. See, radiator means comes in the cars and other factor, right? Why are you talking radiator here? We are radiating, radiation. It comes out, throws out the information. How does it look like? This is a burn down chart sample for you. Okay. Burn down chart. Now take a look for a few seconds. Observe x-axis and y-axis. Let know what your brain is interpreting. Observe carefully x and y. Okay, one of you. What is in y-axis? What does number represent?
Story points.
Could be. Could be. Okay. What is it, Bindu?
Working hours.
Working hours. Okay. Okay. I'm hearing two dialogue here. One is hours. One is story point. Very good. What are the things? Somebody can argue with me, no, Shri, this is work package. Somebody can tell me this is a set of tasks to do. But can I say that this is all nothing but the work to be done?
Yeah.
Work to be completed. We give different naming conventions for that, but it is a work to be completed, isn't it? So let's go. What is being discussed in the market usually? Usually you get something here called story points or user stories, whatever you covered in that particular timeline. Point is work to be completed. And at the bottom, you are seeing some dates here. What does date mean here?
Timelines.
Can I call this as a time box?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, timeline is correct. What you given is correct. But why, instead of using the word timeline, I'm using the word time box? Why so?
Use split into days, number of days, like per day, how many hours to be worked.
Okay. Per day, how many hours? Okay, very good. What are the thoughts?
So it's the total time consumed to complete that story point.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. In Agile or lean management, they started using the term to find out how can we utilize the time effectively and complete that job. From lean management, from 1950s and 60s, they keep talking about value-added and non-value-added work items. I'm sure you heard about these terms, value-added, non-value-added. They keep removing the non-value-added, focus on value-added. When Agile came in from 2001 or even before that, they started conversing, how can we do the job effectively? One they found is we should have a time box. When they say time box, a specific time is given. For example, I will take 2 weeks as a time box. 2 weeks. When I say 2 weeks, how many work days?
10 days.
10 days. Now, when I give a specific time box, now, if I ask my customer, maybe Julie, what you think is very important to be delivered in this 10 days? Julie has a big list of work item. Starts from the bottom, she has a lot of work item. If I give her 10 days, 10 days is, today it's July 20 or 21, where we are? 21. From July 21, I'm giving her 10 days, could be somewhere in the beginning of August. And Julie should be very clear beginning of August or within the next 10 days, what is high priority and what is low priority. When I give a time box, my business people is clear what they want. I am also clear what I should do. And this a time box concept helped them to decide what is important and focus on that. If I don't give a time box, still we'll do the job. But chances are we may slip out. Chances are my prioritization may not be good. Chances are I may drag the job. For this, they're calling Parkinson's law. Have anyone heard about Parkinson's law? Work expands to the time. Is it happening sometime in your job? Work expands to the time what you have. Does it happen? At times?
Yeah, sometimes.
Including your PMP certification. Since you don't have a time box for your PMP certification, we drag. What if PMI Institute collects the money, pay $500, 90 days time, attend the class. If you don't clear it, money is gone. What would be the situation? People would have done it. First, many people would not enroll. Even somebody enrolled it, they would have done it. Is this true? Tough question, right? People are looking into say yes or no. If I say yes, this guy will catch me. Is this true? Okay, coming back here, the time box part is talking about how long something can go. A time box part. That's what you do, something called a sprint or a iteration. Now let's come to the burned on part. The burned on part here is the purple line. What you see is an ideal line. An ideal line is every day. For example, June 1st, you have done some work. June 3rd, you have done some work. Whenever you do the work, it starts declining. From 180, it starts going down. What is the expectation? When there's a time box is getting completed, June 20, I should come to 0, which means I should start declining. 170, 160, 120, 100, start going down. Now, when the team is working on the user stories or features or a package, every day they meet for 15 minutes to talk about how things are going. I'm sure you heard about something called a daily stand-up. Isn't it? Have you heard about daily stand-up?
Yeah.
In the daily stand-up, they'll open up the board. It could be Microsoft, Jira, Excel sheet, wherever it is. They have to tell, yesterday I was here and today I'm here, which means I have moved one work item where I am. Or sometimes it stays in the same place. So every day when we keep adjusting the work item, whatever you did, this graph automatically starts moving. And this is auto done in the system of late. If you go 10, 15 years back, certain things we have to do manually. But now technology has improved. If you go to Jira or Monday.com or Microsoft, it's nothing but a team member. Let's say in my team, I have Alex. What Alex will do is Alex will tell, hey, you know what? I have done this work. Something is completed. When things are happening, you start seeing a decline happening here. And this is a burn down. When I share this burn down, or when it is accurately team is updating, it is showing a product owner in a given days of 20 days, how much my team can complete or where we are. Now, can I say this is a past record or a present record? Can I say like that? Now, when you have this record, do you think a product owner can look or forecast? Is it possible?
Yeah.
Possible, right? That doesn't mean you follow the same numbers. It can go up, it can go down. But I'm getting an average. I'm getting an idea where I am right now. And this burn down is one of the chart which is auto-generated by the system, where you can track things. All right. So are you getting an idea what is a burn down? A base idea?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, one
Yeah.
question to you. Why this is a flat line here?
Maybe holidays.
Holidays.
Not delivered.
Not delivered. Okay.
Or the team has some clarification required from the product owner.
Okay.
Basis on manpower and there is a target line to complete the work.
Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to flat line, which means work has not moved forward. Can we say like that? We didn't move
Yeah.
forward.
Right.
So there could be discussion on this. Could be a holiday, could be a blocker, could be something else also. Now, we have to see, will this impact my delivery? If it is impacting or not impacting, the team will sit and converse how we worked on the last 20 days. Where they will sit and converse this? What is the meeting point?
Retrospective.
Yes, in Agile, we have something called a retrospective. Why we have to retrospect? What is the reason for retrospecting?
To capture the lessons learned and what went wrong and what went right.
If I go a little back here, let me go a little back here. Let me bring that slide part. Okay, just a sec. I want to show you why we have to sit and do this. Okay, let's learn that. Here it is. Now, in this, there is one principle which it talks. This is, by the way, Agile Principles, which was written in the year 2001. And when they're writing, it was totally focused on software industry, but now it is applicable to any industry. Now tell me, there is one principle here, check out, which talks about a team has to improve on their own. Which principle talks about it?
Wealth principle.
Principle number 12?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks for saying that. Let's go to principle number 12. Now, what is principle number 12 says? At a regular interval. Shri, what do you mean by regular? Every day? Every week? Every month? Every year? Up to you. No one says that you have to meet every 2 weeks. No one says that. They say regular. How regular it is? Up to you. Shri, I go to regularly I go to gym. Regularly, how regular you are? Every year, January, I'll go pay the fee. That's very regular I am. After that, I don't go. Not that kind of regular, right? Regular could be something makes you better. So regular interval, the team reflects on how to become more effective and then tune and adjust their behavior. See how this is going to help me now. Just now you saw the burn down chart. Burn down chart could give an idea how the team is doing, which can help my business people. It also can help me as a team to take a look what happened there, why we got stuck there. Someone says, you know what, John unexpectedly took off there. That's okay. We are a cross-functional team. If John is not there, someone can pick up the work, right? Why should we wait? No, we were overloaded. We overcommitted. Then that's not a good idea. We shouldn't overcommit. We are a human being. Anything can happen in the team. We should also anticipate something could happen. We should be prepared to take the job. Oh, really? Then we have to converse more about it. Now, this kind of a productive conversation can happen in a room, and that's called retrospective. 15 years back, this would have been done by a project manager who will give a one-way communication. A project manager tell John, you should not take off. That's not a good idea. Or John, you should have passed the knowledge to somebody before you take off. I don't want the manager to sit and tell my John what to do. John should know that I may not come to office tomorrow. The previous evening, I could have said someone something to take over. But in an emergency case, John could not come. Other team member can pick it up. Now, this kind of understanding for which I don't expect a hierarchy to fix the problem. Of course, I'll have Scrum Master, Agile Manager, Release Train Engineer. Someone can sit and talk. I'm not denying that. But primarily, they say that as a team who's doing the job, they can speak up. And for this reason, we have that information radiator, which is called burn down, burn up, or different charts there. Are you with me? Getting the information?
Yes.
Let's go a little back. Now look at this question. Now read this question. After listening for last 20 minutes, now read the question again. Let know it makes some sense in this question. Do you think this is a good answer to tell that the team is extremely busy? Is this a good answer?
No.
No. When you say you're working in a product and you have something called a time box, you have to do the job. You cannot put your head down into the system and tell that I'm always busy. Don't ask me anything else. That is not an agile team. Even in some company, you can say that some team members are frustrated. You know what? When I come in the morning, I have to sit and do the job, man. Don't call me for daily stand-up. Don't call me for team meetings. Don't call me for anything. I will come, do the work, go to washroom, then go for the food. I go home. That's it. No, that's not the good culture. That's not the way you work. You are not a machine. If you do like that, one day somebody will replace you. You have to involve with the team. You have to understand what is happening. You have to tell how things are moving. Transparency is needed. And for that transparency, we need this kind of data and the reports coming up. That doesn't mean you'll sit all the time, keep doing it. Maybe it's a 5 minutes work or 2 minutes work, but you have to do it. It's your responsibility. And that's where the agile teams are moving. All right. Hope it was useful. Let's listen to someone here who did this in your corporate. Are you doing it? Burn down, burn up charts?
Yes, Shri.
Okay. Which occasions you use it, Shakti? Which occasion you bring it up?
Not a occasion to bring it out to business owner point of view, or what is the question here? Actually, in our Scrum meetings, right, like in every sprint, we used to do this activity. Before starting the sprint, we used to create that WBS document, and we used to derive the task and effort. Everything has to be breakdown. All the tasks are breakdown has to be happen, and we are going to put that information in the chart. And this graphics we used to create it actually.
You create the graph.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
But
so
it,
using this burn down chart only, every day we used to have that stand-up call meeting, and we are having the discussion on that and seeing that how the progress is going on, how the work items are moving on as per the plan, or is there any deviation, then what action need to be taken, is there any impediment, then what action need to be taken. All those things are discussed over there.
Okay. That's interesting. That's interesting. Which means it is done by the whole team as an exercise, isn't it?
Yes, exactly.
That's nice. That's nice. Okay, good to know. Good to know. So is it a role of a Scrum Master or a whole team has to do it?
Yeah, it's not a Scrum Master, it's a whole team. Scrum Master is going to monitor only.
Drive it, right? But I think some
Drive
metrics part Scrum Master will do. They will put some info
Exactly.
on board. That will do. But again, when it comes to presenting and conversing, anyone can do.
Yeah.
Okay, great. All right, let me see what you learned in this question. Can you put in a chat box at least 1 or 2 words what you captured from this question discussion? Let's see your observation. What are the things you captured out of this learning? New terminologies, old terminologies. Burn down chart. Vipin says not all answers best match the question asked. What does it mean, Vipin? Let me understand a little more on that. Not all answers best match the question asked. What does it mean?
I mean, we preferred B. B looks a good statement in itself. But
Okay.
here the answer doesn't support the actual question. So we had to go with A. I mean, B as a terminology looks okay. You're asking the product owner to give more specific details. But in this case, it cannot be the answer. The correct
good answer. Good answer. Okay, got it.
Even initially, I thought A is more like forcing people's tea, but yeah.
Okay. We think people are so fragile. But here it is something we, as a team, they agreed, or that is a way of working.
Right,
so
right.
Their way of working. But one thing in corporate is sometimes Oh, we handle an opponent or a group of people so fragile, so soft. Not needed. They are there to do something. They have to do it. We can be straight to tell that, yes, you have to do it. What's wrong in it? If we miss that, someone has to do the job. That someone is not responsible for it, but they have to do it. And that's how the mistake starts. So we have to be very straightforward and tell that, yes, that's your role, your job, you have to do it. Isn't it? So there is no excuse on it. In a hospital and a surgery is going to happen, a doctor is there, and the doctor will have multiple people to support him. A nurse could be there, or an operation theater setting up person should be there. Oxygen cylinder setting up person will be there. Each one has to do their role. I cannot expect them to ask, can you please do it? No, you have to do it. That's your role. Yeah, certain things you can be polite and soft, but certain things you have to tell, that's your way, you have to do it. If you don't do it, that's going to hit a hole in the project. Then someone has to put the extra effort to do it. So it's not about forcing, it's about the way of working. Right, good. Nice to know. Nikita says some points there. Understand the question, tense, who, intensity, last line, elimination technique. All right, fantastic. Satam says that Agile manifesto, how team should also be answerable. Very good. Shall we see one more question? How is your energy level?
Yes, Shri.
One more question? Okay. Then let's go for one more question for the day. And then let's come back. Here is a question.
Which of the following?
To answer this question, some amount of reading would be needed. A person should have read some book and some knowledge about the management. Let's see how it comes up. Uh-huh. Let's give a few more seconds to get the right answers from everyone. Okay. Let's go to the answer here. I'm seeing answers, majority of goes with alphabet C. And also I'm getting B. Two answers are here. So with this, I can say that elimination has happened already by the people. People have eliminated A. People have eliminated D. These two has been eliminated already. Before we come to the question answers, let's go to the question. You are setting up a PMO in a manufacturing plant and advocating standardized project management on all internal organizational projects. Okay, now you're setting up a PMO. You, in the target you, could be you as a manager or senior manager, something you're doing there. And they're setting up a new process in place. When I say you, someone is, human being is here, and you're setting up the process. Very good. Due to the nature of the business, the staff is well aware of a quality management process steps are available of quality management process. Very good, quality management. But not aware of scope management process. Now the question is going like this. One set of people are pretty aware of what to do in quality management process. When they say quality management, could be setting up the standards, checking it, and verifying and coming up with an answers. These are very clear. But when it comes to scope management, they are not much clear. Now the question is moving forward, which of the following best describes? Now what happened is the whole question stops here and your actual question starts here. Now in our bullet points, 5 bullet points, how to read a question, I would have said that read the last line of the question carefully. If you read the last line of the question a little more carefully, you would have observed they're saying that what validate scope means. The whole question is what does validate scope means? Then this doesn't make sense. Whatever they given here, yeah, maybe it gives some idea, but not really going to help you here because the main question is only in the last line. Is this true? If anyone observed it, is this true? Only the last line has a question.
Yes. Yes. Yes,
It can be a distraction as well.
Distraction, or they're just giving in time to think of it.
Just a lengthy question. That's it.
Lengthy question, right? Is this possible? Such kind of questions also can come.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Possible, right? They can throw something on you and you have to read all the way and finally they'll ask something else. Then you can think like this, or you can even ask me. So Shri, in main exam, if I read only the last line, can I answer? Yeah, you can. If someone else is paying your exam fee, then you can try that. Huh? You are paying your money, I don't think you'll try it. Okay. Okay, now the question is validate process. But this question you cannot answer by your general knowledge. The previous question, some of you can try on philosophy, agile way of working, something you understand, yeah, chances are you can try it. But here, you cannot answer by your general knowledge. You should have some knowledge on PMI. You should have run through some book content also. Is this true? Only a person who run through the book content can answer this question a bit better. Let's come here. Since A is ignored or D is ignored, I will not spend too much time there. Let's go with the B and C. Let's start with the B. I have few people B and some of them going to the C. Let's start the B. B says controlling changes to the scope of the project. People who went to the B, what is your thought? Why you thought B is a good answer for this validate scope?
Why I thought, sorry, yeah, go on, please.
Yeah, because he mostly shows the end of the closure of the project, that is obtaining stakeholder formal acceptance and project deliverables. So that was more pointing toward the closure. So, and B also shows the changes that was coming due to the setting up of a new PMO. So I chose the B.
This looks more of closing the project. That's what you're feeling.
Yeah, closure of the project.
Closure of project. Whereas this one is controlling changes to the scope of the project. By the way, the word controlling, do you think it's a right term in management? When you say controlling, is it something we are organizing? That's what you feel? Okay, let me listen to another person also. Someone else also want to speak for B. Why you thought B is a good answer?
Why I felt is, Shri, by doing the B, I mean, by executing the B option, I thought we could avoid scope creep.
Scope creep can be avoided. Okay.
That's why I felt B would be the best option.
When you say validate scope, it is something avoiding the scope creep. Okay.
Yeah.
Creep. Creep is deviating from the work. That should be avoided.
Yeah.
Okay. I get this point. Okay. Nice. Then what to do is I'll jump to C. Is anyone here to talk for C? Why you thought C is a good answer?
Vipin here.
Yeah, Vipin.
At the end of every stage, the deliverable needs to be first internally quality checked within our team, and only then we need to go to the customer for the formal acceptance. B is not correct here because B is part of the control and monitoring stage, whereas I would say C is part of the execution stage. At the end of each deliverable, you ensure you present it to the customer and get their acceptance and then move on to the next deliverable. So I prefer C over B here.
Okay.
And
Okay.
this is also the correct definition of validate scope. And before validating scope, in an ideal scenario, we will do the internal quality check, which is actually D.
Okay. Got
Yeah.
you. Got you the point. I think one point you mentioned, validate scope happens in execution. Okay. I'll show some more information on that part. Okay. We heard B and C, both argument. Now let me show the right answer. Oof, really? C is a good answer? Why not B? If still people feel why not B, then let's go to the little more information. Take a minute to observe this picture. In a well-planned project, it could be even agile also, but let's be more on a planned project. In a planned project, when the plan is there, the execution starts happening. When the execution starts happening, there is an outcome. What is outcome? The outcome is going to be deliverable. I can take this deliverable, make a phone call to my customer, ask this customer to come and pick it up. This is possible. But my customer will question me back, did you test it in your product? Could be anything. The first question me, did you check? Did you verify it? So I should say, oh, yeah, I should do this. Then what I do is I will call my internal quality team, my quality team in the company. And they will verify the deliverable. Against what they will verify? Against the plan what we made in the beginning. In the plan, we had certain details on the requirement. We also had some details on quality parameters, what should be there. What is a quality parameter? A quality parameter could be Six Sigma standards. Just an example. Now, that should be verified even before I go to the customer. Okay, this is what I think Vipin was talking. Verifying it means checking with the customer and then they give quality past. Now let's go to the main point of the question. The question was asking about validate scope. For some of us, this term would be a new term for us. In the PMI PMP book, when you read, in scope management, under monitoring the project, you get this topic called validate scope. In validate scope, what we do is we actually now expose our work with the customer. Now the customer is going to check it. And this is also sometimes called as UAT. UAT stands for?
User acceptance test.
User acceptance testing. And in this place, they accept the deliverable or they reject the deliverable, saying that this is not meeting what we want. It can go back. But the message here is two stages of testing happens. One is at your place, your customer quality team, and happens at customer place called validate scope. But definitely this term is new for some of us. You can refer or read it in a RETA 11 or a PMBOK book where we talk scope management. In scope management, they explain when a work is getting completed, after quality check in your organization, then it moves to the customer. Customer validate the requirement, what they gave and what we have delivered. They compare it. And when they gave a requirement, they gave something called acceptance criteria. If you remember, there is a term called acceptance criteria. They will check against acceptance criteria. Is it matching? If everything is matching, yes, we take it. If something is not matching, then we have to go back and fix it or do the work. Whereas a scope creep and goal plating, that's a different section. Let me not put that here. It will confuse you. So leave it that part. Let's keep validate scope is a place where we check the deliverable. You got that? Aha, that's a tough question, isn't it? Bit tough question. Good. Top of the time. How is it today? You got some knowledge? So two things are here. One is when you read the book, you get some book knowledge that will help you to solve some questions. There are certain questions which you have to go by your thinking process on the situation, scenarios, then only you're able to answer. So you have to be prepared for the book knowledge. You have to be prepared for the general or thinking ability, both. Then let's turn to Hemant. Hemant, what do you have?
Apologies, Shri. I totally missed that today the class will be scheduled around 3 o'clock.
Okay.
And I needed your help as well. Next week I have scheduled my exam.
Ooh, on the way, party day. Feeling excited, nervous. What's happening?
Everything is happening.
Okay,
So I
great.
have taken off Shri a whole week. Saturday I have scheduled, and I'll be taking a few full mocks. starting from tomorrow, or if possible, from today.
Okay.
And I'll go with some glossaries as well. Agile, I studied a little bit more once again, just to brush up, and few
Which book you are
tricky.
reading? Which
Sorry?
book you're using for Agile?
Agile Practice Guide.
Very
I have
good.
already read it two times,
Enough.
but once again,
I
just to brush
understand.
up that one, and
Understand.
I'll see whether I have to go for Rita 11. I mean, chapter wise, in case if
Okay.
I have to
Okay.
learn
Yeah.
more. Yes.
Yeah. I would say you can reduce the reading now. Reading
Mhm.
is enough, sufficient. You did enough reading. You have the knowledge with you. Only thing we have to work out now is question understanding ability.
Okay.
It is not how many questions you did, how detailed you did a question. The last
Mhm.
1 week, don't look for quantity. I did 60 questions 5 times. I did 180 questions 5 exams. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
that is not so important in the last 5 days. Last 5 days importance is, even if you have a one question, stay focused on it. Take a white paper and start noting down which area, what you're looking. So once your brain starts thinking on that, we call that critical thinking, right? Your brain takes in information, starts understanding, and why it is right, why it is wrong. We are not playing a gambling game here to press some button, somehow 555 will come. No, not like that. Here we have to make the 555 should happen. To make the 555 should happen, we have to work out on the calculations. So take minimal questions, sit and analyze. But
Okay, Shri.
don't stop reading Agile. That should be keep going. Don't
Okay.
stop reading the glossaries or definitions. That should keep going.
Okay. Sure, Shri.
Subject knowledge enough. You got enough subject knowledge. That's enough. Now,
Yeah.
only through questions you learn the knowledge. That's enough.
Okay, Shri. Yeah.
Right?
Shri, just one more question. I want to
Mhm.
know about configuration management,
Mhm.
because this has
Mhm.
been coming across either with change management, or
Yep.
while
Yep.
making with related to perform integrated change
Yep.
control. During that time, I am facing this. I want to
Yeah.
know configuration management,
Mhm.
how I mean, I want to understand exactly when it comes.
Mhm. It is not highly in exam. So this is only for
Mhm.
knowledge purpose we kept in the question paper. Not highly, but let's understand this. In companies, they maintain this configuration management as an action or as a package. In
Mhm.
configuration management, only you will have change management. Configuration management is a big box. In this, change management is one of the box. When I say configuration management, they talk about the spec. Spec means specification changes coming up for the product or a project. It's not coming in. Configuration management handles what all changes can come in and how these changes will be handled. Like a CCB will exist. Who has authority to do approval, disapproval, and when a change comes in, how it has been recorded, and the change has been approved. After change has been approved, how it has been implemented. It has to be tracked. So configuration management is a big bubble. In the big bubble, change management is one of that, where it all goes inside this bubble. We keep monitoring everything going well. Yeah, config management. Once upon a time, PMI used to question a lot on this area, and it is a more dry area because many companies will not follow as such configuration management. They'll just call change management. Guys, let's do change management. That's it. They will not
Okay.
have a committee. They will not have a board to do all this process. It was so tough for people. And slowly PMI started removing it. But off late in the exams, they're not more focusing on it. If at all they want to ask, they'll ask something on the change management. They will not go to the config. But for now, keep config as a bubble. But there are some definitions given. If you go to internet also, you may get different varying answers. Each one will talk different area. So for you, keep it like this. It's a big bubble. In every big companies and plan-driven companies, they'll maintain this, in which they maintain the change management, the way of working, and they track changes are being approved, disapproved, or they even track when it has got implemented. So all those features and details will be there.
Sure. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, keep it like
Mhm.
that. Good then, good then. And the next 1 week, stay connected and keep me posted on your progress. And we should connect over the phone call a couple of days before your exam.
Sure, Shri.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You look fresh and active than before, which means you read well, you feel more confident.
Yes, Shri.
Stay confident. This exam is not a tough exam. It's all about making us to think. That's it. So if you can,
Sure.
if you can just focus, I'm sure this exam is yours.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Good. All right, then I will stop here. And thanks all for the participation. I believe you learned something today, people who hear and people watching from YouTube or the LinkedIn. And let's keep up this momentum. We'll meet again for next Sunday on a Sunday prayer. We will talk another new subject. I'm trying to bring a question. With the question, I'm adding some subject. Is this helping you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Is it helping you? Yeah. I thought only subject will not help. Only question will not help. Let's have some question. Let's have some subject so it goes better. So I will try a couple of questions or 3 or 4 questions in a class, and we'll take some subject also. So we see some relevance towards that. Yeah, let's do this process. And leave your feedback and comments. We'll catch up again. Thanks for being here, and bye-bye.
Thank you, Shri. Thank you, everyone.